I'm Kelly Carter, and this is Another Act. The world watched Angel Reese and her LSU Tigers win the national championship. She's known as the Bayou Barbie, and Reese came under scrutiny for hand gestures made on the court towards Caitlin Clark. Some clocked her for unsportsmanlike behavior, but quite frankly, it's all about the game. And here's why we should watch for Reese next college basketball season. She's fearless. She is fashion style, and will the Bayou Barbie take her talk and her game to another level and lead her team to a repeat? And look, I'm always wondering when Black women college basketball players and athletes may make their way into film again. Thank you, Gina Prince Bythewood, for loving basketball. Hey, look, Angel, she should be in part 2, and we'll have our eyes on you. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on Angel. Please share them on Instagram at Another Act KC. Welcome, Gail. Welcome to the show. All right, Gail, we have got to kick it back to 2015 when we first met in Park City, Utah, and you were starring in this really powerful independent film about teen pregnancy. That was such a big breakout moment for you. And I remember everyone, all of the critics were talking about Gail Bean and your performance that day. Let's go back to that moment. What were your expectations of your career after that? And what was that like for you?
I had no idea what the career would actually be. I knew I wanted to be there in that moment, go to Sundance. Film festivals have always been my aspiration. But to actually, I didn't even know I was going to move into film, move into television and do TV and thrive in TV. So all I thought was, okay, I want to one day be a lead in something and continue to do great quality work with people who I love, whose careers I want to emulate. And I just did it. You never know what that would actually look like. Yeah. So for me to see how far I've come from 2015 to now 2023, and we haven't even hit the 10-year mark.
No, it hasn't even been 10 years yet. That's what's so beautiful. You have so much more time to go. Tell me about, the moment that you find yourself in right now with people really giving you all of this acclaim for the work that you're turning in.
It's wild, but it's also humbling because you have people who watch your work, who know you and love you. And then you still have people who have no idea who you are. Like, why are you important? Why are people asking for pictures? But it's a beautiful experience. I find balance in it, in allowing me to grow within my career and it taking time instead of, overnight sensation and success is real, but then you have overnight success is what people see and it feels like to others, but it's not that. So I think that's what I'm in, where people think it's an overnight success, but I feel the gradual climb. I know that it's taken time and there's still people who have not seen, and there's still so many doors I want to get in and tables I want to sit at. And I have so many goals still for my career, for myself as a person. So I'm able to still be in this moment and enjoy it and be grateful for it. But I'm also working hard. I'm also still grinding. I'm also I still want more and know that there's way much more ahead in my career.
Of course there is. Before we really even get into the Snowfall conversation, I want to talk about when, you have come into something that's already established and absolutely steal the scene, because that's what's happened in at least 2 series that we've seen you in. One, of course, would be Atlanta, and the other is P-Valley 2. Let's talk about P-Valley, because Roulette really comes in, and all of a sudden, Roulette is a moment. I want to know from you what you think about that and what that says about your career, that you can come into the established series and really just command the screen and command the attention from the culture.
Correct. I recently ran into somebody the other night and they said, I know so many people, we were at the state macro party. They said, I know so many people that have worked with you and that know you, and they always talk about how much research you do. And I think it's growing up, teachers used to always say, show your work. You don't just have the result, but show your work. So that's just carried on in my life and stayed with me. And when it comes to these characters, I put so much emphasis on the research and the work that when I do come to camera, it shows up. So I believe that's how I command the audience's attention, because I've done the work to drop into the character fully to where they feel, oh my goodness, I know this person, or I relate to this person, or, you know, it feels authentic and genuine, and they love it. I'm not gonna lie. When I got P-Valley, I instantly knew the character because she's so much of me that I knew she was going to have the same effect that Wanda had. People relate to Wanda. They, you know, I came on season 2, season 3, there was a little bit of buzz. Season 4, it really took the cake. Season 5 and 6, it's a done deal. They want her, they love her, they don't want her to die, they want more, they want a spinoff, they, you know, they're invested. And I knew instantly once I got on P-Valley, there would first be some hesitation, and because Roulette has that altercation and this animosity with Mercedes, and that Mercedes is their favorite. So I knew there would be some hesitation, but the way the character was written and the research that I did, I knew they would eventually take on to her as much as they loved Wanda, but it would just happen a lot quicker. And I think because people were able to see what I could do with Atlanta and Insecure and Snowfall, they're able now to write for me with me in mind from the beginning of like, let me quickly develop this character. Let me give this character, she can do range. So let me give her the arch and show the variety in her skill set, because she's committed. She's going to do the work. They write for people, or you cast people and you're not sure if they're actually going to live up to it. And one thing I want to do is continuously meet the demand that's requested of me. So when someone does go see my work, they already expect that. Or when someone does cast me or bring me a part of a project, they know they don't have to shy away from anything. Like, even if it's something that they feel might be a challenge for me, they know I'll rise to the occasion and meet the challenge and give it its just due to attain that love for the character, then for the show, which then in turn has love for me.
Man, thank you for also bringing up Insecure, because the way that I screamed when I saw you in that episode, I almost forgot about that. I was so excited, like, oh my God, my girl Gail. She came in and commandeered the screen, and you've continued doing just that. Well, what's your selection process like?
It has to be quality. So when I select a project, there's 3 things, right? First, the script has to be 2 of the 3 things that have to match up. So it doesn't matter which 2, it has to be 2. The money got to be right. The script's gotta be good, or they have to be people I want to work with. So I could do, if the money is right, but the script is just okay, but it's Martin Scorsese or Will Packer, you know, or Denzel, the Washingtons, you know, anything like Ryan Coogler, Gina Prince Blythewood. I want it to be people that I want to work with, or even if it's actors I want to work with, a production house I want to work with, a network, studio, director, or the money, you know. And if it's not those 2, then the script and the money. I could work with people I've never worked with before, but if the script is great and the money is good, I'll take it. So I just try to make sure I have 2 of those 3. And then I pray for, you know, characters of quality. I pray for good environments, because I want to be somewhere that I go to work, but it doesn't feel like work. I'm having fun. It doesn't feel stressful. If I have to do this 365 days a year, you know, I don't feel stressed. I don't dread getting up. You know, I mean, we may dread mornings, but.
Yeah, you know, and you said something a few beats back that I really haven't been able to get out of my head since you said it. And I really think that that's the connective tissue of your work, is that you've really been producing these real, authentic representations of Black womanhood. It feels like you're giving us all of these really real, authentic Black women that we don't often get to see on television or in film.
Correct. I feel that we always talk about multi-dimensional characters, right? And how, oh, this director or this writer just creates such full characters. They do, but even if it could still fall flat if we don't deliver, right? So we have to make sure we do we have to give it this just due, to where we properly know the backstory and this person like we know our own selves. And for me, I just make sure I go all in regards to painting the whole picture, knowing who this person is, so I can create these authentic characters that are relatable, whether it not be the person, but they see their mom or their aunt, whether they see their friend or their neighbor or someone in the community, someone that they might have met who left a mark on them. And so because so easily Black women can be characterized as caricatures. So I know I have to handle it with care. I know I can't go into it with judgment. I have to look and say, okay, this is someone's mother. This is someone's daughter. You know, at the end of the day, every single character is a child of God. So let me approach it with that same respect and that same love, and let me make sure I don't do things to offend. And, you know, you'll have your few people that don't agree, but I think in so many of the characters that I have been able to play, they've been overlooked or written off, and their stories deserve to be told. Just even as a Black woman, you know, even with the lawyer who was dismissed but had the highest score, who, you know, passed the bar, all of that, who she is at her core shine brighter than her accolades and her education and her knowledge. So she got dismissed and she got overlooked. And her story is equally as important as Roulette, the dancer story, as equally as important as the girl from around the way, Wanda in Snowfall, who overcame addiction, who is now seeking a new life, who's now a wife. And so many times we as Black women have been cut down to our mistakes or cut down to our biggest flaws or our insecurities instead of lifted up because of our positive things about us, you know? So I thought I'm happy and I'm blessed to be tasked with the responsibility of telling their stories and shining light on them fully to where, yes, you can see their flaws, but you also love them, you know, for their humanity and for the things that make them special.
No, I mean, you're giving a whole sermon today. You're 1000% correct, because I think that was the thing that I loved so much about Roulette. You know, in addition to you bringing her to life, I'm excited seeing you win right now. Well, that brings me to Wanda. How did you get introduced to Snowfall, and how did that come to you, and what made you say, I want to be her, I want to create her?
I knew I wanted to be a part of FX and Snowfall and have some sort of world, artistic world that orbited John Singleton, right? So I've been knowing this for like a long time before Snowfall came about. Then when I heard about it, this was early. After Unexpected, after Sundance, we were looking for projects that would be the right project, right? Because my manager tells me all the time, I'm too early in my career to make a mistake. If I take the wrong project and it's bad, then they're gonna deem me as a bad actor because I haven't done enough good projects consecutively to where they've solidified their mindset about me, which is wild because we could see someone else do one thing or a portion of a thing and now they're like the best.
I made it for an Oscar. Yeah, right. Yes, all the time.
No margin for error as Black women. So they've been very good with giving me that advice since they've been in the industry for a long time. So I knew I wanted to be a part of the Snowfall universe. I reached out to my reps. I was like, hey, John Singleton has a project with FX, Snowfall. Is there anything in it for me? Can I get in anyway to audition? She said, there's not a role big enough. They've already cast the aunt. That's older than you. They've cast everything already. So then I saw that they were recasting the pilot for Snowfall. So I was like, hey, they're recasting. Is there anything for me? She was like, nope, there isn't. But just hang tight. You know, we'll see. We'll keep at it. So they watched it. They kept it on their radar. And then I waited forever. I swear I was headed to Chicago to shoot a web series. As soon as I landed, I got the email for an audition for Snowfall. I was freaking out because I wasn't in LA at the time. So I emailed back. I said, hey, I'm out of town for my birthday. I'll be back December 11th. Is there any way we could ask for them to move it? And this is something that never happens. I never ask to move anything. I'm usually in LA, not letting my phone die, but waiting for a call, right? For my moment. So they were like, no, but casting said they will take a self-tape. So I got the director to record me. I was so grateful for it. So remember Unexpected, Peter Gilbert EP'd that. His son, Leo Gilbert, was the one I was in Chicago with. So his son directed the web series. So he put me on tape for an audition. I send it back and my reps hit me back. They said Snowfall loved my audition tape. They want to know if I'll still be in LA December 11th for a chemistry test. I said, yes. We did that, me and Isaiah, that was our first time meeting. And we took acting class, the same acting class, but at different times. So we never met, but everyone kept mentioning us to each other. So we had our chemistry test and it was phenomenal. Like it was amazing. I felt really good about it. Even if I wouldn't have been cast, I felt like, okay, they're gonna remember me. Yeah. I leave out, they had two other people that had to go after me, two other girls. and my reps hit me, said they loved it, but there's one more person they have to watch the tape. Now, it was about 15 to 20 people in the room. So I thought, what? But when I got the call, it was just, I was mind blown. I was so happy and excited. And it was right. I thought, okay, I'm gonna be this LA around the way girl. You know, I love getting my nails done. So I thought, oh, I get to have my nails done. I get to look cute. I remember girls from the 80s. Like, that was a fly time. I mean, the 90s is my bag, but okay, 80s. And I thought, this is so great. When I read in the script, because they didn't give me advance notice about Wanda doing drugs and falling susceptible to the crack epidemic, I was mind blown. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, what the hell? But I was grateful for it because it hit me like how it hit people in real time. So I finally was able to see what some of my family members went through, what some people who I see on the streets went through, in the not knowing and it being sudden and it jarring your life, but you're already in it and unaware. You know, back then when people used to cook and they wouldn't use masks, they didn't know that you could become addicted by the fumes or by touching it and handling it with your hands or even trying it. They didn't know that that would lead immediately to being later on being an addict and having to truly battle and fight in this being a disease to get over something, you know? So I welcomed it. I definitely thought this is going to be challenging because now they know me one way. Now I have to switch gears. And likewise, when it came to Wanda getting clean, because I knew everybody loved her and they wanted more for her when she was an addict. But I didn't know how, even as the character, I didn't know how to, I mean, even as Gail, I didn't know how to help Wanda, how to get her past addiction, what she would even look like sober. So it was all challenging, but I just remained open to, you know, whatever the research brung, whatever the work brung, whatever my authentic interactions with family members brung up.
Man, I love all of that. Thank you so much for that complete answer. So here's the thing, Gail. We know what you have done for Wanda, which once again, you brought humanity to a character that we could have easily been dismissive of. My question for you is, what has Wanda done for you?
Oh, Wanda's opened my eyes. She's given me a different perspective of addiction, of the 80s, of the time period, the crack epidemic. She's helped me forgive family members and just brought me some peace with everything, you know, because so many times, brought me some understanding. So many times I pray for peace that surpasses understanding. I believe Wanda allowed the understanding to catch up to the peace.
I love that.
And she's launched my career.
And she's launched the career. She's launched it. So that said, what's next for you?
I'm looking for films. I of course, everybody wants their own show. So I'm definitely hoping Wanda launches my own show. I would love to and not necessarily for the career reasons that people think, but I want to be a leader. I want to set the tone on the set. I want to walk in every day happy. I want to create an environment where people love their job, love their workplace, brag about it. I'm ready to take on that task. I want films. It's no secret. I say that in every interview. I want Marvel. So when Marvel is listening, when you do your interviews for Marvel, you know, I want Marvel.
Kevin Feige, call Gail Bean. Give her a call right now.
Please.
Give her a call.
Definitely want films though. I want to do some stuff with Oscar award-winning actors. You know, I want to challenge myself by acting across from people who, again, have the careers that I want to emulate, have been places and in the rooms that I aspire to be in. I want to make meaningful work. I want to one day do a biopic.
You know, what's beautiful is that I know all of those things are going to happen for you. And when they do, I'm going to be texting you clips of this conversation and remind you that you put it out there, you manifested it, and it all came true. Gail, you are so talented, and I'm so excited seeing where your career has gone and grown and what's next for you. Continued success as always.
Thank you.
I first met Gail Bean back in 2015 at the Sundance Film Festival. You know, it was evident back then that she had really great acting chops as I watched her star alongside Kobe Smulders, Anders Holm, and Elizabeth McGovern as a brilliant high school student who discovers that she's pregnant, and she forms this unlikely friendship with her teacher that's played by Kobe Smulders. Over the years, Gail and I have formed our own fun relationship, and it's been my absolute joy to watch her evolution in Hollywood. You know, she really takes on these characters that feel very real to all of us. Extremely relatable women who are usually multi layered, and her presence on screen makes you feel the depth of her emotions, the internal and external struggles that are relatable to so many of us. You know, she paints a picture for us, whether she's a mom, the aunt, the woman in your office that you almost counted out, or hey, the obsessive Drake fan. Remember that role in Atlanta? I love that so much. She really brings to life the stories of these women who they deserve to have their stories told, flaws and humanity. Thank you, Gail Bean.